Welcome back. It's the week. It's the cocktail party. Standing out here in the stadium, sure does look pretty. The field looks great. It's going to be interesting to see how the feel is outside the stadium since there'll be no tailgating in the parking lots. There's only going to be about 17,000 people in the building. Going to feel a little bit like we did when we went to Athens and Gainesville this game, those 2 years we were building this magnificent stadium. So, I feel like now it's football season for some reason. I think the game this weekend, being home, first time I've been to a stadium with a game going on, I'm really excited about it. And it really got warm last week at the end of the week when we figured out that we're going to play on Saturday, January the 2nd at 12 noon with the bowl game, ACC versus SEC. So all of a sudden now, for the first time in 2 months, it feels like it's college football season. I'm not laid up on a couch watching Saturday afternoon. I'm actually going to be in a game and pulling for a team, and gosh, it just couldn't be any better than that. We're working hard. We're getting ready to talk about tickets for our game. We're getting ready to work on sponsorships for our game. Thank goodness for the TaxSlayer people for continuing to be our title sponsor for the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl, 76th game that we've had. So all those things are great. ESPN gave us a great time slot. We're looking forward to having a good crowd, having a great opportunity to showcase the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl on national television. Don't really have anything much else to say. I know that we've got Uncle Terry, my brother, who is his birthday today, and he's gotten older again. There's about a month time where he's exactly 1 year and 11 months older than me, and then when we get back to the other deal, he's 2 years older than me. So today he's 2 years older than me, and I'll bring my brother on. TC, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
Wait a minute, hold on, time out. You are red and black.
Exactly.
Does that make you a Georgia fan?
I would think so.
Since when? How long have you been a Georgia fan?
Since I started breathing.
Yeah, I would think that's true. Born in Athens, Georgia. Notice I wore the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl outfit. Thank you, Katie.
After he was told to wear his colors.
Yeah, I know, but I still feel a little uncomfortable being in this position to be one side or the other. I had dinner last night with the athletic director from the University of Georgia, so I'm going to stay neutral until we get to the picking time.
You should.
Okay?
You should.
All right.
So they tell me that you needed a celebrity guest picker for this week, and so I was at the top of the list, so they called me. So that's the only reason I'm here.
But Wheels Up, we didn't have any time left on Wheels Up to send out to get the celebrity picker.
Gotcha.
Since you were here, we figured we'd bring you right on in.
Bring a local celebrity in.
There you go. I like it.
That's the truth.
So here's the list of teams we're going to pick, and we're going to go from the bottom to the top.
Okay.
I noticed that you've already done your homework, right?
I wouldn't be here if I hadn't.
I didn't do any homework.
That's good.
Okay, so
I really didn't do homework on who I'm going to pick. It's just where I could give the people out there a little bit of knowledge about what's going on.
And you do know there's some big games, Clemson at Notre Dame,
yeah, I got something to tell you about
Pittsburgh
that.
at Florida State, some of those kinds of big games.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that matters on here is who's right this coming Saturday in this stadium at 3:30 kickoff, right? Okay, so we'll go from there.
You got a chance.
We got Stanford and Oregon.
Well, Oregon's at home and a 10-point favorite. Oregon's supposed to be the best in the Pac-12, so I'm taking Oregon.
It's obvious that he doesn't have a lot to do if he knows anything about Pac-12 football, because I don't. So if he's taking Oregon, I'm taking Oregon. Michigan at Indiana.
Michigan is a 3-point favorite on the road to Indiana, and Michigan played great the first game on the road, went home, laid an egg. I really don't know where to go there. I would like to pull for Indiana, but my gut tells me Michigan.
Well, I'll just tell you this. Indiana played a great game in the 75th TaxSlayer Gator Bowl last year. I met those people, really like them a lot, so I'm going Indiana.
Okay, good.
Houston at Cincinnati.
You go first this time.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
Houston at Cincinnati? Know nothing about either one of them. I know that Houston got beat last week, I think. I'll take Cincinnati because they're playing pretty damn good.
Cincinnati's 6th-ranked team in the country. You got to go Cincinnati on this at home at a 13-point favorite.
I'm not sure we even ought to be picking this game, but Liberty at Virginia Tech.
You know anything about Liberty?
I don't have to know anything about Liberty, but I'm taking Virginia Tech at home.
Well, this is how crazy it is this year. Liberty's ranked 25th in the country.
Okay.
How do they put them 25th? I'll never know. But they're at least playing somebody. But they got to go to Virginia Tech's Blacksburg, right?
Yep.
They got to go there at a 12 noon kickoff at a 13-point, 14-point underdog. So Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
So here's the question. You look at the rankings, and obviously the CFP rankings haven't come out. You notice that every week they publish the bowl projections and who's going to be on the bowl projections. The interesting part about that is they never know what they're talking about.
Sometimes they don't even give us the right conference.
And I promise you, this year, with the way football's gone, there's no way the top 25 has any indication of what's really happening out there, who's good and who's not.
Well,
But anyway.
they're back to slotting. The coaches poll, that's back to just slotting. So Liberty's undefeated, so they got to do something.
Right.
Even though they're probably not even in the top 50.
So what you're saying is making the group of 5 look good. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Pittsburgh at Florida State. Boy, this would normally be an easy pick. Let you go first.
Florida State is a home dog, but it's only 2 points. I just got a feeling, this quarterback's had a couple of weeks to play now. I just got a feeling they're going to beat Pitt.
I'm going to take Florida State because I think that's going to be our team in the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl.
And I hope you're correct, so I'm going with Florida State also.
Great game. This is probably, in my opinion, I've got Notre Dame in my top 4 right now. Obviously, Clemson's in my top 4. I got 2 SEC teams in my top 4, by the way. But Clemson at Notre Dame. Is Notre Dame at home with all the home cooking the refs give them good enough to beat Clemson with a new quarterback?
No. I'll give you a terrific stat. It's called the 41. Not the score, but 40 and 6. Clemson scored 40 touchdowns this year, almost 6 a game. Notre Dame has only given up 6. But Notre Dame has played nobody.
We're going to go a different direction. I can already see that. You're taking Clemson?
I'm taking Clemson to whack them pretty good.
I'm going to take the Golden Domers.
There you go.
That's who I want to pull for because I want Clemson to lose 1 game, and that allows 2 SEC teams to get in with Clemson in the Final 4.
I got you, and you have a reason to do that, but I'm just over here picking the team that I think is going to win.
There you go.
So,
Tennessee at Arkansas, better known as Arkansas.
Yeah, I like them as Arkansas, so flip a coin here, bro.
Well, Tennessee played in our game last year. Let's go with Tennessee.
Well, actually, Arkansas is a favorite first time this year, I think. And they're at home. They got Pittman as their
Remember
coach,
who their
used to be at
quarterback
Georgia.
is. Remember who their quarterback is.
These 2 teams, I don't even care about the quarterback. I'm taking Arkansas just to be contrarian.
All right, that's great. Texas A&M at South Carolina.
Texas A&M's a 10-point favorite at South Carolina. It's hard to believe, but it is. And Kellen Mond is playing great. Texas A&M may be 3rd best team, 4th best team in the SEC. So I'm going with Texas A&M.
I'm going to go with South Carolina because I like their athletic director a lot. Ray's a really good guy. And another thing would be to have FSU in South Carolina in the 76 TaxSlayer Gator Bowl.
Well, see, this is the difference that we're getting.
Well, I'm working for a living. You're not.
Yeah, we're getting him picking to help our game, and you guys just asked me to pick who I thought was going to win.
There you go.
Let's go here, though.
Okay. This is the Georgia-Florida, Florida-Georgia game.
Yep.
You and I call it Georgia-Florida, A, because you're a Bulldog, and B, because Dad was a Bulldog. I'm the only Gator in the family.
Right.
So what do you think about Georgia-Florida?
Well, this is the first time in 4 years I think Florida has a chance, and a very good chance. The line started at 6 when it came out. It's all the way down to 3.5 and 3. And I noticed yesterday 57% of all the money is being bet on the Gators, 43% on the Bulldog. The line just didn't go down because Georgia has so many great players that are hurt that won't be able to play. Their best 2 players. It'd be like taking Kyle Pitts and Kyle Trask off of Florida's team. That's who they took off of Georgia's team. That's why I say they've got a great chance. But still, Kirby and Mullen have a long history. They played 13 times. Kirby's won 12 of them. Kirby's, as a head coach against Dan Mullen, Kirby is 91-37 in the 3 games. And they scored 1 time. Mullen's team scored 1 time over 20 points. That's when they had Dak Prescott. So if Florida can score over 20 points, they might have a chance, and I think they will. But I'm still taking my Dogs.
Yeah, I understand. That's a heart bet. I have a feeling on that. Let me just say this.
Oh no, I truly think they're going to win.
Okay.
31-27.
I'm counting on Kirby to do the same thing he did last week. After taking the ball and running it straight down their throat 16 times, scoring a touchdown, running almost 10 minutes off the clock, and then he comes back and just start throwing the football. So I'm kind of hoping that happens.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this. I don't think Florida can stop Georgia. I know Georgia can't stop Florida. So this is going to be one of those high-scoring games. And when you start getting into the high-scoring games, I take the skill players that Florida has.
That's true.
And LeCount's not back there. If LeCount was back there, I'm telling you, one player,
Sure.
I'd have a completely different idea, but I'm taking the Gators. That's our picks. We're going to find out next week who won, who lost. Again, we only care about one game, but we'll still go through the whole game. Listen, everybody have a safe weekend. Enjoy the cocktail party, and we'll see you next week.